Welcome back to the 21-day velo plan. If you are a dog and you're going to take this seriously, you'll go back and watch the other two videos. Because if you just skip to this one, that's cool, except you're not going to see the results compared to the guys that take all 21 days in order and actually do the work. So if you want to throw harder, if you want to throw with less effort and less stress on your body, much more ease, then watch each of these. And today, I might actually freak some people out, make some people mad, and at least completely change the minds of a lot of people who have been taught how to use their back foot incorrectly. So I'm actually going to show you some slow motion video on what your back foot should look like relative to what most people tell you to do. So if you think about it historically, we've been taught to drive, push, extend, get down the mound, and all of these things that require us to push off the rubber. And when we push off the rubber, that tends to happen by bending our toes. So if you think about it, see if I have a shoe around here. Let's take a shoe. Now, this is a flat shoe. I would highly recommend getting yourself a shoe that has the flat here for your training. For cross training, I wouldn't highly recommend these initially, but these are really good. I have no affiliation, but the Zero brand, they're solid. And if they can do this, that's usually the test. Sorry, get that off there. But what you'll see is when guys push off the rubber, you'll go into your toes and you'll push. And it makes sense, right? Because you're told to push. And when you push off your rubber, off your toe. We want, ideally though, the weight to be underneath the ball of our foot, so underneath the big toe, underneath the heel, and in there. So if you think about that, that makes a triangle. We want to keep that triangle in the ground as long as possible. Maybe you've heard that, maybe you haven't. The difference is the guy that can do it the longest will succeed. And if you think about it, when a pitcher, have you ever heard of trying to stay balanced? So trying to stay balanced and then going, apologies, keeps going over there. Trying to stay balanced and trying to push off the rubber are two opposing things, and I'm going to show you why. And I'll keep this here when we get to this. Check this out in this video. Credit to the MLB for this. If you guys, I have, again, no affiliation. I don't get some kickback. But MLB Film Rooms, I believe it is. You can get some sweet videos. Check out this video from someone who has spent more time, arguably, on his mechanics than anyone in history, and that's Trevor Bauer. And check out what his back foot does. Or, more specifically, what it doesn't do. Number one, it just stays still. It's completely calm. You know, you hear about the traditional cue to like stay balanced and stay under control. I taught that thing 15, 16 years ago when I first started teaching pitching. And it was to just stay under control, have complete body control. And so we can see that his body's not moving. And then check out what's happening. So his foot does not go into his toe, or his weight does not go into his toe. You can actually see the inside of his foot right there and here still in contact with the ground. And you're going to see just a roll over. So check this out. The best guys, that are able to maintain center of gravity with their spine do the best job of staying in their back foot longer. So everything we talk about is spine dominant pitching mechanics. When we get into pitching mechanics, everything connects to the spine. Your head and the position of it connects to your spine. Your shoulders, your arms, everything else connect to the spine. Your legs through your hips to the spine. Everything is altered by, dictated by, and can be manipulated by the spine. So we take the spine and we dictate and talk about where that is. And so when you look where Trevor Bauer's spine is, it's going to stay centered over his whole back foot. We talked about those 3 points. So you got the 1 point here underneath big toe, underneath your pinky toe, and then here. If you keep all three of those in contact, the foot actually just kind of rolls over. And here's another cool thing that happens. When it rolls over, it actually, because you're going to be rotating now, check out what that foot does. It actually kicks back this way. So some really cool things that guys over the years have figured out, smarter than me, that back foot stays flat. This back foot actually kicks to the left because of rotation. And it stays flat. And the reason it stays flat is because center of gravity is maintained. If you think about a basketball, and the diameter of the middle of a basketball, when this thing spins and the diameter is straight up and down, the ball will spin easily and effortlessly. If you want, as a pitcher, to rotate and move easily and effortlessly, so a scout and a coach will tell you or tell others or document down that you're an effortless guy, that you're a low effort guy, that you're a guy that can last long in games. If you want those things written about you on the scouting card, then we got to find center of gravity. And it's something that's been talked about as far as balance for 100 years. But we teach it differently. It's about keeping your spine over the middle of your back foot. Because when you do that, and when you go check your video, what you're going to see most people do is that this heel pops up all the way, goes into the toes. And now, just like a squat, if you think about when you squat, you want your feet to be flat. Once your feet are flat, you feel more powerful. When you feel more powerful, you can be more powerful. When your feet are flat, you feel more stable. When you feel more stable and in control, you can get lower. When you feel more stable and under control, you can repeat your mechanics and your movement more consistently. So if you want to be more stable and more powerful and get into your back leg more and use your legs more, be more explosive and be more repeatable, it starts with your back foot, keeping it flat as long as possible. Because heaven forbid, if you ever got into your toes when you were doing a squat with weight on the bar, you would start to wobble. You wouldn't want to go down as low. You'd feel like you're going to hurt yourself. And the same thing goes for pitching. If we want to use our lower body and our legs as much as possible, we want to be as flat as long as possible. And when we do that, we're able to use our legs. And when you're able to use your legs and we can say, yep, check, then guess what? The upper body doesn't have to work as hard and the arms don't have to work as hard. So we can take stress off the arm. We can take a stress off your body and tell your brain that it's okay that we want to throw hard. It's okay that we want to throw harder, longer in games. We want to add velo because now we're optimizing our body. We're optimizing our speed and our strength. We're optimizing our health. And now we're doing that from a firm movement standpoint based on where the spine is, centered and balanced, so we can rotate really easy and move down the mound with complete control and a ton of power. Because if you want to be a dog on the mound, we got to lay the foundations. Because laying the foundations is what's going to allow you to graduate to the next one easily and effortlessly and be more explosive. So we take care of our food, sleep, and water. Then we take care of optimizing that with our strength and our speed, and now we are moving better. And this is how you start to feel unbelievably when you're on the mound, or unbelievable when you're on the mound. So this is where it starts. Doesn't start with your arm, doesn't start with hand separation. All those things, when you learn what we talk about with spine dominant pitching mechanics, you'll find out those things will oftentimes correct themselves. So this is where it starts. And I will see you guys in day 4 as we talk about what the arm should be doing.